Hey guys, so this is it. A bit of a rushed intro to building an AK-427 replica Cobra. This is what you get at 7 in the morning on a cold, frosty day. The body's in with ice and a whole stack of parts, which I'll go around and show you now. Now, I just wanted to make this quick introduction video because you need to know what you're going to get on delivery day, and you also need to be aware of what you need to do to lift the body off of the little dolly that it comes transported on. So we'll have a look at that now. Now, the dolly that's already been slid out is not a complete flat unit, and it's got some flanges that stick up about 6 or 7 inches so that they kind of wrap around here so that the body doesn't fall off of the dolly when you're pushing it around. So you obviously need to get the body high enough to release and free up the flanges that stick up so you can roll it completely out. Now, it's not too much of an issue on the front here. I just raised it up and put the jack stands underneath, so no problem at all. But of course, when you do that on the back, you end up locking in the dolly, so you can't actually pull it out. So you need to maneuver around that, readjusting your jack stands, putting the jack in a different place so you can ease the dolly out a bit further. Alternatively, like I just did, because it was causing a bit of an issue, the dolly is in 2 parts, and 4 17mm bolts later it separates, and you can take it apart and hopefully ease it out around your body. The next point I wanted to make was, don't be too eager to take your body off of the chassis and start working. You really need to mark up where the body sits on the chassis so you can run the brake lines more effectively. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. So here we are inside the engine bay, and you can see where the chassis, the body sits on top of the chassis. Now, your brake lines are going to be running likely down this chassis rail here, all the way down, and then they'll duck down the side here and continue on backwards on the side of this rail. So you need to know at what point to do the bend so that this body, when you put it back on, doesn't end up squashing your brake lines, etc. The next point is, don't be in a hurry to take your doors off and put them into storage. You really should take the doors off once you've taken the body off and put it onto your driveway or wherever you're storing it, with adequate packing underneath to keep the shut lines, etc. Because this body is quite flexible, that the body could change shape, and then you'll be storing it in a position that won't keep these nice shut lines with the doors nicely in place here. Okay, so once you've marked up your brake line area where the body sits and keep your doors on, etc., then it's a case of undoing the 6 or 8 bolts that the AK have put in to mate this body with the chassis. So they've put the bolts through, as you can see here, and hopefully when it all comes back to reassembly, you'll be able to reinsert these bolts, and all the threads and everything will line up. So just to interrupt the Cobra talk briefly, I just wanted to tell you how I've heated the garage. It's 3 degrees at the moment, so far too cold for me to be doing any work in here. And after brief research, I decided to choose radiant heaters to heat the garage. These are pretty inexpensive, only about £35–40 a unit. You can go more expensive if you want more powerful ones. I've got 2 set up in here, and the benefit of these is, unlike any kind of gas-fired heater, they don't make moisture, which would render most of your garage rusty. Instead, they just throw out the heat, and they tend to heat whatever they actually hit. So I've got a couple of them directed at different parts of the body, and they should keep me quite toasty. They do generally seem to heat up the rest of the space after a little while. So it's quite a pleasure. Not quite the Bahamas, but you're quite able to work in these lower temperatures. So if I just show you that, I think you can see them here. They've got 2 settings, and it's pretty toasty. And the second setting is pretty hot actually. Obviously a little bit further away, not quite so warm, but it certainly does this small space. Also, I don't have quite a sealed garage, so there's still quite a lot of airflow to keep everything nice and dry. So that's it, and on with the tour. Okay, and finally for this short introduction video, I'll just show you the parts that you also get delivered, well, depending on what you spec'd out. But I should think you'll be getting the majority of the parts that I show here. So as you can see, we've got the fan assembly, got all the radiator hoses, some brakes, the rear hubs, etc. Are all in there. Air filter, etc. And then much to my wife's delight, we have luckily quite cleanly wrapped all the wishbones, front, rear, front splitter, both exhausts, fuel tank, the nitron shocks, more water pipes, and some of the wiring. Yeah, we've got a wiring loom in here with the Can-M's unit. So yeah, all in all, that's it. Pretty happy boy. It's the 6th of January 2022. It's Christmas all over again. So stick with me. This is going to be a long old journey, and I plan to make plenty of videos showing you the process. You can also get me on my website, which I've links below. Great, see you again.